All eyes will be on President Cyril Ramaphosa as he'll be delivering the State of the Nation address tomorrow in Cape Town. The president faces a number of challenges in driving the economy of the country out of the woods, with job losses adding to unemployment numbers. So, will the president have a walk in the park when he reads his speech tomorrow? Let's ask Lee-Anne Bac, who is Director, Tourism Specialist Unit at professional services firm BDO South Africa. Thank you very much for coming through.
Thank you, Colin.
Is South Africa still an attractive tourist destination?
Yes, it is. It's got lots of potential. And you know, we've got a great nation. Definitely is. But the problem is we just need to tell the world. And the other problem is, of course, we've got increasing competition. We're not the only ones. Many countries in Africa are upping the tourism game. They are spending more on marketing. They are improving their product, and they're entering the mix. And the world is waking up to the fact that there are places in Africa other than South Africa that you can visit. So we've got to up our game too.
How do you up your game when the negatives are outweighing the positives? Let's talk about the issue of crime. Would tourists and investors say, let's go to South Africa and do business with them?
Well, the issue of crime is a massive issue, not only for the people of this country, but obviously also for our tourism industry. And the real bonus of our tourism is it's an export industry. We're bringing foreign direct investment or money, we're bringing foreign currency into the country. So we need to up our game again when it comes to crime, and not just a little bit. We have to come up with a concrete strategy of what are we going to do to protect people of this country and our visitors. It's serious, and we have to take it seriously, and everybody needs to take it seriously, from you and I on the street, but to our ministers, our police force, and we need to come up with a concrete strategy of how we're going to handle it. And I'm hoping that our president is going to say something about it in his address tomorrow night.
But then, is it going to be a speech that speaks to the real terms and realities of what South Africa is right now? If you speak about the president's endeavor to try and lure investors and address job losses, the reality is that since the beginning of the year, we've had so many companies announcing retrenchments. So the South African economic situation is blowing hot and cold.
You know, I have to be honest with you. Over the past couple of years, and all the SONA speeches, whether it was our current president or previous president, tourism has had very little mention in the SONA speech. And if it is mentioned, it's just been very high level. Last year they spoke about the lofty target of reaching 21 million tourists by 2030. That's from our current 10 million, so that's 6% growth per annum. But there was very little concrete of how we're going to do that, and that's what's missing. And we're really hoping, as an industry, we are hoping that tomorrow night we're going to hear the how-to. How are we going to do it as a country? How are we going to reach the 21 million? That is a magical number if we can get there, if we can see tourism really making a massive contribution to our economy, to job losses, and to creating new jobs. Tourism creates jobs. It's a fantastic industry, and it creates the right type of jobs too. But there's a lot of work to be done, and we've been seeing, when we should have been getting 6% growth per annum, this year, 2019, we got a decrease in tourists. And this is very, very worrying, given that the rest of Africa grew by over 4%, and we have seen a decline of over 2%. So,
which is worrying, like you were saying, when you have repealed immigration laws, and when you try to normalize the situation, you don't see the upshoots.
You know, I also think we need to look into some of those immigration laws that have so-called been changed, and the visa regulations that have been changed. I'm not sure that we have done enough, and we haven't done enough quickly. We haven't done enough quickly enough. Sure, the unabridged birth certificate component has been withdrawn for foreigners visiting our country, but that's only a recent amendment. But we need to tell the world that we're open to families, that, you know, bring your children. We'd love to have you, and we would love to host you. We've got to get that message out there.
Yeah, that's a good message, but take a look at the airports. SAA saying that they have to cut a number of long-haul flights and local destinations. On the other hand, Eskom having load shedding. So it's not really good news coming out of South Africa. And for the president to really say something, is there a good story to tell?
Yeah, these stories are definitely negative for our tourism industry. It doesn't give confidence to tour operators when our airline is in liquidation, or if it's
business rescue.
Yeah, business rescue. That's a better term. So, which is definitely a concern. But when we need to look at, as a country, we need to look at how do we still bring in other airlines. Does it have to be SAA? But we need to have airlines flying into this country, and we need to put a concerted effort in to bring more airlines into the country so that they can bring people in.
Well, thank you so much. There's so much to talk about, but in any case, since he hasn't spoken yet, we'll continue to have analysis from time to time. But I hope to see you soon so that we can analyze the post-SONA issues.
Yeah, let's hope that we get the how-to.
All right, thank you so much. Well, Lee-Anne Bac is Director, Tourism Specialist Unit at professional services firm BDO South Africa. We're going to take a break. When we return, the program continues with Peter and Palisa.